Yo, what's good guys, VENM Fire here, back in the video, and today we're going to be hopping into another Madden 24 gameplay for you guys. Today we're going to be running an offense that I've been talking about for a while now. It's going to be the Singleback Bunch X Nasty out of the Los Angeles Rams offensive playbook. Now, this can also go hand in hand with the gun type flex video that I posted 2 videos ago. They're both in this Rams playbook, and you also have some things like bunch in that playbook. It becomes very good. Now, this game was a really sweaty game. This guy, he's not the greatest player, but he definitely knew a little bit about what he was doing. But overall, you'll see why it was close. But yeah, Bunch X Nasty. We're going to sub in Jonathan Taylor. Now, our quarterback, he stinks. Anthony Richardson's really good in real life. The game does not reflect that definitely overalls-wise. But what I like is going to be dive. I like this... what's it called? Out zone, something like that. It's a little bit of an outside zone. Wide zone weak. I like having wide zone weak. That's probably your bread and butter. Now, I am going to set up audibles for a few other formations. Audibling is definitely something you want to take advantage of. There's a lot of other good formations in here, like the Singleback wing flex close. Some other ones that you will see a little bit later that we end up setting up. So we're just going to burn the time out here. It doesn't really matter too much. But I like the tight doubles. I like the tight Y off flex. Passing wise, we have a lot of good plays. PA Rams counter, PA boot slide, PA cross, verticals, and then something else. But those are our audibles: PA cross, PA boot slide, dive, and wide zone weak. So coming out here, looks like he's in a little bit of a nickel normal look. Now the slot corner was to the opposite side, so pretty simply here, we're going to run it to that left side. Now, I do like the fact that this formation is very easy to flip, incorporate motion, things of that nature. It's one of the more creative under center formations that you'll ever find. Now, certain things do become an issue in this formation. It's not the greatest against pressure. Now, I did pick up pressure pretty well in this game when he sent it. You already see the adjustment. Switching nickel 3-3 wide. Now, what he has is he still has the slot corner on the left side. That's something to note. But we're going to try get some passing going here. I like to set up 2 drags, a crosser, a deep post from Pittman. We have the tight end blocking. He bluffs the pressure, so we're just going to hit JT really quickly here on a little juke move. We also caught him off sides, I believe, on that play. So decline the penalty since it is a 2nd and inches. But yeah, overall, that was a nice cover 3 look. You'll see a little bit later he's going to go to a heavy man coverage look. Now we have the slot corner on that left-hand side. He's shifting to the... He's shifting left, pinching those linebackers, so interesting enough there. And we're going to go with the counter here. We get a lot of space. I'm not sure why I didn't go back to this, but this run is something very solid. There's a lot of really good run plays in here. You have a pitch, you have a crack or a counter, you have a wide zone, you have a dive, a few other things like a regular inside zone. So there's a ton of good running plays here. We're running the ball very successfully, so we are going to continue to do it. Now, the one guy I like to motion if I am flipping my run to the right is going to be the tight end. Now, why do you motion your tight end? The biggest reason is so that he doesn't have anyone shadowing him. Generally, it's going to be the linebacker or a safety's responsibility to defend the tight end. So when you motion him across, you're going to get an extra blocker on that side without no defender moving over there. So it's just going to give you an advantage. Here we're going to try and incorporate some PA boot slide. We go with play action, slide to the left to open up some space, but Mo Alley Cox, our tight end, is unable to secure the ball when I feel like he definitely should have caught that pass. Maybe I had too aggressive catch instead of rat catching it. But, we move on. Here, we're going to try and go to this PA cross play, especially against man covers. This is going to be the play we run. So we're going to go back to a little bit of a different setup here against man, try and incorporate 2 zig routes. Now, I'm not sure what kind of a weird match that was, but the man coverage players on the left switched assignments mid-route. Nonetheless, we have a crosser wide open, and Anthony Richardson flat out misses the throw. Like, that just simply cannot happen. I don't know how. I mean, I understand if he's under pressure. I don't think he was under pressure on that play. He simply missed the throw, and it just cannot happen like that. Like, come on, dude. So 4th and 7, I'm going to try and do a few different things here to open this up. We go with a zig. We go with a little out route, a lot of man-beating routes, as you would expect. And again, he goes zone here. I had B. I just missed the read straight up. That's definitely on me. So we get stopped. Don't leave the video because we do end up figuring it out on offense. But obviously, that whole drive was killed by Anthony Richardson overthrowing what would have been really a 25-yard gain on 3rd down. Now, again, I definitely missed B. A lot of times on these plays, I just like assume that he's going to be actually a good user when he really was defending absolutely nothing. But we're going to start out here on defense running some dime action. Now you will see that we don't stick in this very long because he goes with a Y-off trips motion halfback swing, and he takes to the crib. And you see, I don't want you to ignore that. He celebrated on us. You know, I'm going to take that personal note, and we'll just see how this game is going to end. But he hits us. That's a really good play call against dime because there's only one slot corner out there. In the slot corner, he ends up blitzing, leaving really the safety and then your user. So everybody's picked up, and nobody obviously shedded. Looking at this Colts defense right now and making subs, we don't have a singular cornerback or defensive back in general above a 75 overall, and I think we only have 2 or 3 above 70 overall. So you can see that we're not working with a whole lot. We have DeForest Buckner. Our defensive line is solid, although you couldn't tell. And we have a few good linebackers, which is unfortunate because linebackers don't do a whole lot in this game, but definitely not the start we wanted going 7-0. 7-0, and he gets ball at half. He's already up basically 2 possessions almost, just the way that happened. So it is certainly something that, you know, you're going to have to overcome. So getting the ball back, though, I have a few ideas on what we could do better offensively. Obviously, we were running the ball very successfully, and we kind of just went away from it there. So running the ball is going to be something that we're going to continue to want to go to. You know, again, out of this formation, you generally don't want to pass unless you really have to. So, and here I'm going to take a look at some of these other formations, like this tight wide off flex. We have a wide zone out of here. There's a few good passing options as well. So we set up a few of those runs. Tight doubles is another good one that we may go to a little bit later. And there's also some good I form out of this formation. So immediately we're just going to audible just to give them a different look, see how things happen. It seems like the left is a little very open here, and we get a good block there on Joey Bosa. And you can see just simply audibling, we try and jurtle, but go out of bounds. Just simply audibling can give them a different look, and we can pick up chunks in massive yardage. So we're going to set up the rest of the audibles out of this formation. A few good corner out plays. I like this Rams pivot dig. I definitely probably should have continued to audible, but we kind of end up going away from it. Here, little lag spike for the boys. Not ideal. But we're also going to set up formation in this tight doubles formation. We're going to set up our audibles here. A lot of good plays like under, PA boot. Some good runs in there. I think a stretch dive or maybe a wide zone end dive. But back to Bunch X Nasty. We want to come out and Bunch X Nasty on every single play, whether we are running it or not. Right there, probably a bad cutback with Jonathan Taylor. I've been kind of prematurely juking there, and maybe I actually should have cut to the outside. Didn't really let the blocks develop. So that's bad run stick. Definitely with your running back, it is helpful to have that juke box, almost necessary if you're running the ball as much as I did in this game. And again, you guys know generally I don't run the ball a whole lot. It is definitely not something that we do. But don't be fooled. I can definitely run the ball. Here we just go back to the basics. This time, thankfully, Anthony Richardson does not overthrow it. It took everything in him to not overthrow a 3-yard out route. But we just run a simple concept, a motioned out streak with a corner out. That was out of the PA boot play. An out route with the tight end. We motion him out. But here is another play. Just trying to get some deep routes going. Now, right here, it's a really good defensive zone. I'm not sure what causes that outside third to stop and play that, but it is his match coverage. He's running this match cover 3. Maybe it's tough. Maybe I actually need to make a video on it because it was really interesting the way that you saw an outside third that's just defending the post. You think it keeps going up, and then it almost stops. Could have been intercepted if Anthony Richardson didn't overthrow it. But here we're going to the PA boot slide. We have a drag, a post, a C route, and looks like A might have been deep over the top there, but it's a very risky throw with the safety there. It's not one that you can really make unless you have something like Gunslinger and you're able to freeform that all the way over to the left side. It's just not something I was willing to risk while being in field goal range. So we're gonna play it smart, throw the ball away, and it might have been something I didn't see either. So here we're going to go to the PA Rams counter, I believe. Set up a deep in route, a corner out, and a streak down the middle. And here I expect B to be open. He is open, but it's a very close play. I wasn't expecting him to almost play it like man coverage. I was expecting him to kind of keep going down the field, open that up to the sidelines for maybe a possession catch, but the corner played that really well. It could have also been poor timing, but Alec Pierce comes up with a really important catch for us. And Anthony Richardson finally puts one on the money, so we are very excited about that. So now we're in the red zone. Only one quarter has gone by, so I don't feel too terrible. Clock management-wise, I feel like we could easily score here, get a stop, and get the ball back, and then go up to a possession at the half. Here, we just go with like a basic red zone concept, a wheel, a slant, trying to open up some things. Jonathan Taylor may have been open there. We did miss him, but I did take a personal note just on how open he got on that wheel route. Now, I probably should have went back to it. I didn't end up doing it. Maybe I did here. This is a situation where I should definitely be running the ball. There's no doubt about it. I think what are we doing here? I'm definitely passing. Let's go with like a zig, a wheel route, a backside kind of crosser here. Definitely an interesting route combination. We're trying to open up JT. He goes with a cross-man adjustment, which is really smart with Derwin James, but we roll out. We're able to playmaker that flat of Michael Pittman to the left side, get his user chasing us, and we punch it in. Now, again, I don't think he did that cross-man adjustment. That's just how the play was set up, but we couldn't quick snap because we threw the flat out there. But anyways, it ends up working out, and his pressure is not really getting there. He's not really setting up this blitz well at all. He could definitely be setting it up way better, but he isn't, so we are not complaining. But here we are, 7-7, 4:47 left in this quarter. So, again, if we can get a quick stop, we're in a really good spot. But even if he ends up driving down the field, we should really get another crack at it, no matter what. So, overall, you can't complain about it. And I feel like we have a good philosophy on offense now. Just really trying to work underneath, running the ball as much as you can. Here we, in this game overall, we come very close to giving up plenty of kick returns. It ends up being pretty crazy, like how many opportunities this guy had to take a kick return to the house that he just wasn't able to. But, obviously we're not complaining about it. So defensively, we're going to make an adjustment here. We're switching to dollar. I'm going to set up a cover 3 cloud look. He's going to run the counter that goes right into us. Inside zone would have been a better option there. But we're going to run our defense base out of DB fire pretty much for the rest of this game. Every now and then we'll call spinner. But generally, we're going to be running DB fire too. So the base of this defense is going to be pinching your D-line. We're going to spread out those linebackers. Now, pressing is weird. Generally, I am pressing, but and he goes to the motion halfback swing again. Generally, pressing is going to be your better option, but in this case, our corners are so bad that you don't want to get beat down the field, so I don't know how often I press. We're going to switch to spinner here. I think it's a better option against this motion, and that's really just what I was trying to get him out of. So we get in a situation where we play very aggressive here. You see we manually back up that guy on Mike Williams, but we don't do it to Josh Palmer, so I probably should have just backed up everybody. We want the slot corners pressed, though. And here, I'm basically saying you're not going to run the ball, and you're not going to... and how is this not picked? Like, dude. We backed him up, so we couldn't do that. Very good adjustment there, but basically what I'm saying with that defense is you're not going to run the ball, you're not going to run your swing pass. You're going to have to pass, you're going to have to make a read, and it's going to have to be a quick decision. So we're seeing how fast he can make reads right there. Not the worst read, throwing it up to Mike Williams. But what happens here is I don't have DB fire on my audibles because I'm lazy, and we almost get quick snapped. Not necessarily a quick snap, but it's just bad defense. And he goes hurry up. Good adjustment by him. So really, I don't really love spinner against this look where everything is more spread out. And against tight formations, I don't love it. He goes to this 4 verts again. And how is that not an interception? A good move by him to make us miss, but the fact that he thinks he did something by that when it really should have been an easy pick is very confusing. You need pick artist, or apparently you have to be over a 70 overall. Both pretty fair. I can't complain too much about the matchup, but just the fact that it went through my hands. I don't think he highballed that pass. Definitely a little bit unfortunate. But, it is what it is. We are not in a bad spot. Again, clock management-wise, we have 3 minutes left. We've taken longer drives. We've definitely controlled the clock better. So we put together a long drive. I'm pretty confident in being up 14 or tied at the half. I am confident in my ability to get a stop at some point in this game. So we're going to return here with Flowers, go with a little juke move, and we get a nice little fumble there. Now, I don't understand how that was ever a fumble. It wasn't really a hit stick. It was not a user click on. That was a cornerback that probably had little to no hit power. And I've never really just seen a fumble on that animation. Now, I don't know who our kick returner is. It's a corner. But definitely unlucky there, and we're back to the drawing board here. So this is an important possession. You can't give up a touchdown here. He's going to go with this tight open again. He actually motions him over. He's trying to throw this corner out. Thankfully, we get a good play there. I don't want to pick there, but I do want the pass breakup, and we get that. Now, that was definitely open, and that's because our inside third is coming from that strong safety position. So we are going to make an adjustment on this next play. That is going to be key. It's a little bit riskier, but we're going to throw Zaire Franklin in that linebacker position into the middle third, I believe, or actually, yeah. So we throw Zaire Franklin in the middle third. We throw our free safety into a hook curl, which can bait people. But this is going to prevent him from being able to throw that streak because that's inside 30 C's over there. Now he goes different setup. He had the out route maybe a little bit early, but nonetheless, we finally get pressure. 3rd and 21, I'm going to have basically the same defense. We're going to play the sticks here. He switches to a trips. So in this, against my cover 3, I make sure I man up Keenan Allen with the linebacker. You see Keenan Allen is manned up, so he's going to check it down. I'm fine with that. It's not the worst play call by him if he's going to go for it, and he does. And he's doing all this hurry up, by the way. So you can see how fast I'm adjusting, and now he's audibling a bunch, which throws my whole defense off because I had the cover 3 on the left. If it's bunch, you have to switch that cover 3 to the right, and you have to baseline press to defend that corner out. So I think he comes out and snugs again, which is basically like a bunch look, I believe. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Yeah, so snugs flip is what he's running. Or, yeah, this is actually tight. So tight is interesting. Basically what I do here is I turn a cover 3 look into both sides. We throw both safeties and hook curls, and then we throw Zaire Franklin, once again, our linebacker in the middle third. You see absolutely bagged. Now, we don't get pressure, but we end up lurking him. We force him into a bad throw. He rushed it for sure. And we can take this to the crib with Shaquille Leonard here. Watch this. Boop. Make him miss. Oh, my God. Number 25. I cannot believe he did not block him there because that would have been an absolutely insane clip to land on that guy. After all the celebrating and stopping and going he did. And number 25 absolutely sells the clip by not blocking him in the back. Like, come on, we got to block him in the back there. If they don't call it in Madden, you might as well. First play, I'm feeling a little bit confident. We're going to try and go shot play. I may have had RB there, but we're going to take the smarter read, check it down to JT. I tried to juke there. They wouldn't really let me. RB, again, I'm not really looking down the field because Richardson has really just overthrown everything in this game. So we're trying to hit these easy passes, and you can't really blame me for that. So we're going to go out route again. We have X over the top, and it is yet another overthrow point. Proves right there. Also, I feel like I should have got a little more separation. Maybe I threw that account too early. But 3rd and 4 here. We don't want to settle for 3. We really want to pick this up. But after that last drive, I think I found something in my defense. I feel a little bit more confident on defense. So with this play, I probably should have dragged A for another backside option, but we go play action. He gets really good pressure there because we didn't block the tight end and we only had running back blocking. So good cook blitz by him in the cover 0, and that's unfortunate, but we're in 4th and 9. Right here, I don't know why he didn't call timeout, but all we're going to do here is make him think that we're going for it. I'm definitely not going for this. I'm going to take my points and move on to the So we're just going to audible around here, play around, distract him, and all of this until we burn the timeout at 1 second. So he cost himself like 30 seconds there. I'm not exactly sure what his strategy was, but it was not the smartest of things that I've ever seen. But nonetheless, I'm not complaining about it. We're going to take our field goal and punch that in. So 10-14, again, is a lot better than 7-14 because I don't really believe that he can score in the red zone on me after that last drive. He really definitely should have taken 3. Looking back at it, he just got greedy. Because going up 7-17 would have looked a lot better for him. It would have made me drive down the field. You see, I couldn't even pick up more than a first down. So here, kick it off, take some more time off the clock. Things you love to see. And all we have to do is hold him. So 24 seconds left. We'll see what he ends up doing. If he goes aggressive, we could even get an interception. You know, you can't win the game in the last 2 minutes, but you can definitely lose it. So we'll see what his plan is. He comes out in the I form, which is something he's never been in. He tosses. We make the play with our user. And he doesn't call timeout, which pretty much makes it obvious that he's content to go to the half. So I don't blame him for that. I would have probably taken a few shots. Maybe he didn't know truly how bad our corners were to not be doing that, but no, we move on. So at the half, we're down by 4 points, and things could be a lot worse. We fumbled. Things could definitely be a lot worse. If we didn't fumble, I feel that this game could potentially be tied, but we ended up making the stop out of the after fumbling, so it didn't hurt us really too bad. We just kind of felt the pressure of the clock. So moving on to this half, I feel confident. Again, offensively, what has he really done? Not a whole lot. His offense has really been one motion halfback swing and one deep pass to Mike Williams, and that has really been it. So he hasn't done a whole lot of anything. And offensively, really, we've only stopped ourselves. Anthony Richardson, he overthrew a touchdown on our first drive. We could be an extra touchdown above. We could also have 4 more. We could have 11 more points right now. We could be at 21. Anthony Richardson overthrew 2 touchdowns. He overthrew. We wouldn't have scored a touchdown on the first drive. He overthrew the crosser. We would have continued the drive, though. Probably score at least a field goal. And then on that last drive of the half for us, Anthony Richardson overthrows a touchdown. So Anthony Richardson is selling. I don't know why he's so bad in this game, but you should at least be able to throw with these quarterbacks. He's just not a 70 overall. Dude, I understand he's not accurate in real life. Here is one of the craziest throws, by the way. That is a corner route there against a cover 3. The only way you usually are ever able to throw those is a motion out streak. Even with a regular streak, those aren't never open, and we are baseline pressed with our cover 3. Again, obviously this is cover 2, but we turn it into cover 3. And the fact that he was able to complete that just shows how truly bad these corners were that I'm working with. Now, I'm going to try and send some pressure. We have not been able to get pressure. We get pressure there, although it takes Kenny Moore a few extra seconds. But finally, we get pressure, and now we're going to go back to some coverage. He's going to audible to more of a bunch look on the right, so we are going to man up Mike Williams. He's been sending him deep a lot. He's going to audible back, so we're going to reset our defense back to this cover 3 look where we've been throwing our safeties in a hook curl. We man up the tight end because I don't want to have to worry about him. Or now we audible and we man up Keenan Allen. So you can see just the thought process. We're switching between a ton of stuff. He force feeds this, and how is this ball not picked? I know Zaire Franklin, I don't expect him to jump up and make a crazy play, but we got to get some kind of a tip drill on that play because that's why we manned up Keenan Allen. He spammed that fade route, highballed it, and we had a safety over there as well as a linebacker, and it just falls to the ground. Anyways, I've been trying to get pressure going. It hasn't worked, so we are just going to man up the tight end here. It's short side. I'm not as worried about the streak. He goes crosser. He's throwing actually a beautiful pass there on the corner route to Mike Williams. He ran a C route. That was actually a really good play call by him. Thankfully, we get pressure from DeForest Buckner. Otherwise, he would have completed it. And you see I made the adjustment there to move my zone drops up. So we moved the zone drops up. And he snaps the hell out of the ball right here. He throws, and we are there with our user to make that play. I'm not sure why he did that, but Not really a great play call. You can see he's kind of desperate. He's trying to, do these things that aren't really skill based. Like, he's not putting together good route combo. He's basically just trying to cheese his way into this. So here we audible formations to the tight YO flex or tight doubles, whichever one it was, I forgot. Try and run the ball, and I realize that I'm not throwing the ball well. I need to continue to run the ball, and we're having very good success. 7 carries, 52 yards. So we run up the gut, and here I'm going to try and set up some audibles in I form. I like this slot stack. It has a dive, it has a stretch, it has a few other good plays, like an inside zone. So we're going to set that up. Now, personnel-wise for that formation, it's 2 running backs and a tight end, 21 personnel. So we're going to throw Zach Moss here in the slot because the Colts don't have a fullback, and we're just going to try an audible. And pretty much what this is going to do is it's going to not force that slot corner to flip because he's baselined, I think. So we end up pancaking his user. Not the greatest stick, but we pick up the first down nonetheless. And this is something that I like. So we're going to go back to it. We're an audible once again here to the stretch. And it should be fairly obvious to him that we're not passing the ball because we have a running back literally playing receiver. We're going to run stretch. We're going to flip it. And we're actually, never mind, we're going to run to the right. I don't know why I did that, but maybe it was something I saw. We cut it back. Could have been worse. Nothing really doing there, but 3 yards a carry you will take. As long as you're not losing yards running the ball in a running offense, it makes a lot of sense to run the ball 2 plays in a row. Now, in this case, we ran the ball like 4 or 5 plays in a row, so we are going to try. I think we're just going to run it again. Take a look at the clock. We've used a lot of clock on this possession as well. And here we almost break out a big run. I'm really loving this audible. And especially on that run to the left, we've had tons of success. We've picked up at least 5 yards of carry every single time. And here, 3rd and 3. I'm looking personnel-wise. If they have a fullback, they don't. We're just going to go back to the I form, see if we can pick it up. Otherwise, that's where we will actually pass the ball. Now, again, is this the most entertaining way to play the game? It's not. But when I have a 70 overall quarterback, this is what you kind of have to do. We catch them off sides, actually. It doesn't end up mattering. We get the first down. But that's the second time we've caught them off sides. So, something to keep in mind. Anyways, this pretty much takes us to the end of the quarter. Actually, we don't have accelerated clock on, so maybe we run another play. Wide zone. I love the look to the left here because the safety is manned up on Zach Moss. Now, nobody ends up blocking the way I want them to. And he's in a new formation. I think this is a 4-6 bear, 3-4 or something like that. 4-6 bear, 4-6, one of them, 3-4 bear, one of those formations. But I like this look of a defense a whole lot better than a nickel 3-3 wide. Nickel 3-3 wide is probably the toughest run defense you'll ever face just because it's so balanced on the outside and the inside. It's difficult unless you really have an offensive advantage at the line. But this is one of the dumbest things he could have done because this look is just so much better to the left side. He's taking away my run to the right. Feel free, but this run to the left is just so open. And right here, we go 30 yards untouched to the house. So I don't know why he made that adjustment, but it's not a balanced formation. He has to use that linebacker from the right side if he's doing anything, or he has to come down and use the safety. Otherwise, the passing is going to be a lot more open as well, especially if I just block the tight end because I can easily hit a corner out here. There's no threat to really some deep coverage down the field, so it's going to make his life a whole lot harder playing defense out of that. It's a difficult formation to adjust out of as well. And again, personnel-wise, less defensive backs on the field, so I'm not sure why he did that. But this is pretty much what happens when you're able to run the ball. We ran the ball like 6 straight plays. Did we even pass on that drive? I don't think we did. I think we literally just ran the ball. And that's what will happen. If you're having success running the ball, people are impatient. And what happened was, and oh my God, here we go. Rigoberto Sanchez makes the play of the game in stopping that, because that would have been very unfortunate. But he disengages somehow from a block and slows him down. I was talking about the kick return. He had good looks all game. He had another one. Here he's going to try and go to the ground. We light him up. Good user there. Baiting to the left. We outrun Zion Johnson to the spot as a puller, and we're able to make that play with a linebacker. And again, I don't typically prefer to use linebackers, but sometimes you have to. Runs the ball again. First time all game, I think he's ran the ball twice in a row. We stop him both once again here. 3rd and 7. This is important. He goes hurry up. I'm not sure why he's rushing it. This is actually a really good play. One of his best passes is this backside post or backside dig route, either one. And it's a good play because my user was not following that. Otherwise, he had really nothing open. We had to cover 3 on that left side. And unless he somehow completed that same pass that he did with Keenan Allen earlier, there was going to be nothing doing. Clock management-wise, we're in an interesting spot. He's at the 30 here, so we feel like we're going to get the ball again, but he is chewing clock. So obviously, we know what he kind of wants here. He wants this to be the last possession. So obviously, if he's going to score a touchdown, we want it to be earlier rather than later because we need time for our offense to work. We don't really have a one-play touchdown offense with, who at quarterback. Here, quick snaps me, 2 streaks. It's a good setup for what I've been doing, especially out of this formation. Because spacing-wise, it's just difficult to see who's going to be on that streak in that bunch. But he goes to this trips, and again, similar to what we did earlier, against trips, I like this man coverage look. And right there, Kwity Paye makes a really good play in the run game. As I burn my first timeout. Now, why did I burn the timeout there? It's just makes more sense to keep the clock under 2 minutes rather than letting it drain to the 2-minute warning and then him being able to dip into that clock inside 2 minutes. Now, I will save 1 typically, and how is this not a pick 6? Like, there's just no way Herbert threw. I've never seen a quarterback ever shovel pass that fast in my life. The ball almost teleported to him. He snaps the ball. We have a blitzing corner off that side because I was playing pretty heavy run defense there. We have a blitzing corner, and he just sprints past the ball, and thankfully we get a shed from someone else. Here, he is in spread. We man up both those slot guys. I recognize that it's a screen. He throws it really late, and we are able to make that play. 4th and 7. So, again, here, I'm fine letting the clock run out to the 2-minute warning because if he has to kick 3, I want an extra timeout on my game-winning drive, pretty understandably so, whereas that 2-minute warning may occur on the kickoff or things like that. So, it just makes sense to save the timeout. He's going to go, though. I can't blame him for this decision. I may have done the same. It just depends on how you're playing defense. We've played well in the second half on our one drive. He goes play action, not really fooling anybody, and he throws something that is just completely not open. It is Zach Wilson-esque on 4th down. It is Kirk Cousins-esque on 4th down to throw that pass in the red zone. He may have had that backside, and he had nothing open. It was cover 2. We made up the running back. We made up both those slot wide receivers. So it was going to have to be something backside going inwards from his X or his B wide receiver. And boom, he's in that terrible formation again. We hit him with that wide zone. And we take it all the way with a little celebration on top because he taunted me earlier in this game. So this is just a masterclass on how to run the ball. Again, I don't know why he switched formations. It makes no sense. But when you can't stop the run, it's really driving you crazy. I switch formations, but I never get too crazy like that because if this was Ultimate Team and I actually had a good QB, I would have easily bombed him over the top running this stupid cover 1 that he's doing. And it would have been fairly easy to do that. So 24-14, he has all 3 timeouts, so we do need to still play defense here. But really, overall, we're in a good spot. He hasn't really picked up any chunk plays besides those 2 kind of fluky plays. I mean, the running back swing is a decent play, but it's just fluke because who does that? Finally, we play good kickoff coverage here. That's a first. And again, he hasn't really done anything on their dollar all game. Like, he has not scored since that Mike Williams Moss. He has really not done anything on offense. So he's going to go back to Snugs. I am a big fan of him. running this formation. Those heavy crossers, and again, he can have that. He's going to have to take a timeout or hurry it up. He burns a timeout, which pretty much eliminates his chances here of doing anything without an onside kick. So I'm not sure that I would have done that. I would have probably spiked the ball or at least gone hurry up and try and throw something deep down the field. He goes back to doubles. We're going to run the same look that we had been. Manning up the running back, manning up the slot receivers, shading outside, shading over the top. And then we're watching the middle of the field with ourselves. He throws it right at our user. Not my greatest user. I should have stopped. But nonetheless, he catches that, and that's crazy. With a safety, maybe that's an interception. But good catch by him. He burns his second timeout pretty instantly. That one makes more sense because it was more down the field. It's going to be like a 20-second timer to actually spike the ball. So I don't mind that as much. These doubles again, we run the same formation. Keenan Allen gets burnt, and boom. Also, this dude Brent gets burnt, and Josh Palmer makes a heck of a catch on the fade route. This is really frustrating because I feel like we played really good defense, and it just wasn't the case. But that's a really good pass by him. He finally recognized that, and good pass by him, but at least on this drive, that didn't happen on the first play. It happened after he burned 2 timeouts. So really, we're fine here. He's going to go for 2. This makes no difference at all, just if he gets the onside kick. He goes speed option. We make a really good play with our user, and we somehow that's not a... I thought for sure he got it, but the game said otherwise. That's actually not a bad play call by him. Anyways, just need an onside kick here, and for some reason he decides to kick it deep. I don't... Again, I don't know. This guy, he knew some things about the game, but his overall football IQ must have been very low because the decision to run out the clock, we eat a hit stick. I was holding RB. I don't know why he wasn't doing it. We go in conservative here, but the reason to run out the clock at half makes no sense. The reason to go for it on a 4th and 7 down by 3 doesn't make much sense. And then again, the reason to burn timeouts and then kick it deep makes no sense because I could just be taking knees here. We try and run the ball just for kicks and gigs because we can, and we're going to pick up negative yardage, but it doesn't matter because it's a 40-second play clock in regs, and even if it was a 30-second play clock, I don't think would matter. Again, if he gets the ball back, it would have been 10 seconds. So he ends up just quitting, and that's going to do the video. If you guys enjoyed, hit that like, subscribe to the channel down below, and peace.